Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 6th through the 12th, and during that time, we'll have a waxing gibbous moon, and that's a really good time for us to demonstrate flexibility, to make adjustments, to kind of look around, see what's working, what's not, and let some things go that are not working well, maybe adding things that need to be clarified a little better. So take the time to do that a little bit this week. Also, we have the full moon energy that comes in on the 10th and kind of it's late on the 10th, late afternoon, and comes in a little bit on the 11th too. So of course that's a time of heightened emotions. Sometimes you can feel a little bit overwhelmed or anxious. You might be snappy or irritable or have changes in your sleep patterns. But what the full moon is it's definitely a good time for all of us to practice patience and calm as that energy, the luminous energy comes through, and it comes through differently for different people. I know that I do experience sleep problems myself. I just can't sleep during a full moon. And I also am very, very high energy. I mean, I'm just completely tuned into things. So it affects all of us a little differently, but keep that in mind. It's just a good time for us, again, to practice patience and calm. All right, your overall message for this reading, Sagittarius: nothing is yet set in stone. And just a reminder that this is an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So please keep that in mind and take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. Also, Sagittarius, since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button down there. It really, really helps my channel, and it's so easy for you to do. I will give you just a moment while I'm shuffling to do that right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I do appreciate you. So thank you so much. All right. And my weekly reminder this week is that you notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicities. So, if it's not something that you pay attention to, once you start seeing these synchronicities and how the universe is kind of guiding you, and this can come through in so many different ways. There's a card coming out. I can't believe this card is coming out again, honestly. It has been the star of the show. Everybody, I was just talking about it in the last reading I did. Um, Everybody seems to be kind of just juggling things and keeping things in the air this week. We'll talk about that during your reading. Anyway, but notice the world around you, and synchronicities can come through in so many different ways. It can be just little signs, through animals, maybe a song that you overhear, numbers or repeating number patterns that get in front of you. So just my reminder is to pay attention to those this week. All right. And without further ado, let's get into this reading, Sagittarius, since we've got cards coming out already. Sagittarius, July 6th through 12. Nothing is yet set in stone. And your overall present energy, we will take this card that came out, is the Two of Pentacles. And, it seems like every week there's kind of one card that almost appears in every reading, and this has been the card this week. And so it makes me wonder what's happening on the collective level, that we're all kind of juggling things and making sure that things are getting done, and that energy is kind of everywhere, so it's not just you, it's people around you. So just make sure that you are paying attention to that for yourself. What are you doing that's causing you to feel like you're just having trouble just managing the material world? And watch for people around you and your friends and neighbors as well, because we're all kind of going through the same kind of energy. And honestly, I can feel that kind of creeping up this week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next week with that. And there's some reason why maybe this tension is existing for all of us. Your current situation is the Page of Wands. So we've got some new path for you in the way of passion. And it could be that maybe that is what is causing you to need to make room. When we add new things to our routine, when we add new things that we love, say if you even if it's just you pick up a book to read, and you're gonna, sometimes you get a little sucked in. And if you're like me, it's like, well, let me spend 2 days reading this book that I can't put down. And who cares about the laundry and the dishes and the what. that's we all, if there's something that you love that comes in, sometimes something else kind of suffers because of it, and that can cause that feeling like, oh, I'm behind now. So just make sure you're paying attention to that and making space for things, new things that you love to do and new passions that you have, while also working that into your normal routine. And my advice, sometimes you have to let other things go. If something new comes in, it's like, well, this other thing needs to go away. At the root of your situation is a little bit of a broken heart here with the 3 of Swords. So, this can also just be something that you're a little disappointed about. This doesn't have to be complete heartbreak. Even though there's a heart in this card, it is air energy, it is swords. So this can be, thoughts that are in there, like things maybe ruminating, something you're thinking about that went on that was disappointing for you, but it's kind of, it's on your mind, but it also does affect your heart. There's an emotional component to it as well. But it's also just kind of being done with something too. And this could lead to this new passion. One thing leads to another. Well, how does the song go? In your recent past is the Star. So you've kind of been on course and moving in a particular direction, and that's a good thing to do. You've been in, this is kind of prosperity and optimism. This is a card of watching those signs of the universe that I was talking about. This is, kind of, you're drawn to something because you just know something about it. There's kind of really using your intuition. So this could be clarity and moving in the direction that you need to go. So that's maybe something that has pushed you into this new passion. It's like you're not even sure, maybe even yet, why you're drawn to this thing, but there you are. So pay attention to that. What is on your mind this week is the 3 of Pentacles. So this is definitely collaborating with other people. This can denote kind of working in the creative realm. I mean, it's Pentacles, but it's also it's about collaboration when it comes to work, getting things done, but it can also be a card about creativity as well. So that's on your mind, and it is to collaborate with others, and it could be about this new passion, this new thing that's coming in for you, that you're kind of looking around, and how do you want to express this thing. Again, your overall message here is nothing is yet set in stone. So it's kind of like you're in that seeking realm of like, okay, I have this new thing, I would really like to take part, participate, do something. How am I going to work all this in, and what do I need to give up so that I'm not kind of juggling to keep my life together. I will say also that I'm noticing here we've got 2 3s also, so you may want to look up angel number 33 and see if that has any meaning. We'll see if any other 3s come out during this reading, but there's a synchronicity for you right there. What is just ahead of you this week is the King of Pentacles. So ahead of you is knowledge about, this is knowledge about the material world. And it could be, again, this new passion that's coming in. This is about learning. So, you could just be kind of in the learning realm about this new thing because it is new to you. It's coming through in the form of a page. So it's something that's kind of just budding. And I feel like you're kind of wondering how to work it into your life. Again, nothing is yet set in stone, but you're kind of in that research mode, like, oh, I want to do this thing. And let's say it's a sport that you want to take up. And so it's going to require that you have, that you do it 2 or 3 times a week so that you're getting good at it. And you're wondering, like, how am I going to juggle this and fit this into my life? I've been led here intuitively, right, through the Star card. There is some collaboration. There's just other people involved. It might be something that I'm doing and being led to because of something that was a little disappointing for me. And so I'm just using that as an example. But now you're trying to kind of work out all the details. Like, okay, I do want to do this thing. How do I work this into my life? In your advice position, here is the Death card. So, and I'm not laughing to be laughing. Sometimes, death is the ending of something. And that's exactly, if you bring something new in, that's what I'm saying. Something else sometimes has to go. So this can be kind of the end of a cycle. Of course, this the Death card doesn't always mean actual death. Of course, it can. You may have death around you in some way that does change your life. But this is typically going to be just the closure of something. You've just reached a point where you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this thing anymore. And it could be, again, I was using like a new sport for you as an example. And it means that you have to give up the painting class that you've been taking, or whatever the new thing is. It just needs room to work out in your life. And it means you do need to let something go. And your advice is to look around, find that thing. Again, we're in the waxing gibbous energy. It's a good time to make those kind of adjustments. And you just need to be like, you know what? I'm not doing this thing anymore, to make room, to make some space for this new thing. What is beyond your control this week is the Six of Cups, which is typically a little bit reminiscent. It could be, I always think about that you're thinking about your childhood, or something or someone from the past, and it's kind of beyond your control for that to be on your mind, to be at the forefront. It comes to us in the way of cups, which is about emotions, and sometimes that's just us drifting off a little bit, or maybe even this new thing is reminding you of someone from the past, or some feeling that you've had in the past, some way of being that you were in the past. And, it could just be making you feel younger again, which is awesome. I like that a lot. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Empress card. So, again, creativity. That's the Three of Pentacles here. Is it your secret desire to create something? Many times this is our card of pregnancy, and it could be that you're creating actual life, but many times too, it's also pregnancy in the form of doing something, this passion that comes up for you intuitively because of, the whole situation that's going on. Is it your secret desire to feed into this so that it becomes a thing that is long term for you? This is about something that's going to go on for months or maybe even years. And either ironically or not ironically, we are now on our third three. So make sure you're looking up angel number 333. But this Empress comes in the position of your secret desire, or you're trying to avoid, and that's your big question. Like, do you really want to give the time and energy to this week, or are you trying to avoid that? I mean, I think all the cards are pointing to you're making that decision about this, and it's kind of a big decision. It's a big time commitment, it seems like. But nothing is set in stone. You're still making decisions about it, but that is your big question: is do you really want to give the time and energy that is needed for this thing to come to fruition? All right. In your outcome card is enjoy the fruits of your labor, here with the Nine of Pentacles. So I like that. Again, I don't know if you're going to make final decisions, but you do need to let something go to make space for this new thing that's coming in for you. And again, tarot readings, I'm doing them weekly, but life doesn't happen in a week. This could be something that's ongoing, something that's just started for you. It's just come to you with this page, and you're going to start making decisions in that way, in that direction, and kind of making adjustments in your life. So what is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck this week is the Ace of Wands. So this is a new passion as well, and it's kind of a big yes. So where your interest is just starting, I feel like this card, I wouldn't be shocked if you came back next week and this card was in your reading, because again, you're kind of in exploratory mode right now, and this is hidden from you. This big definite yes is hidden from you yet. Again, you may find it next week. All right, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Sagittarius, July 6th through 12th, as they explore this new passion and decide what they want to let go of. It's bringing up a lot of feelings. It looks like you're here intuitively, but it's also bringing up feelings of youth. And sometimes that could be, you did this thing in your youth, or you wanted to do it and you didn't have the time, money, resources to do it. So now you're going to take it on as an adult. So I'm getting those vibes here from Beyond Your Control card. All right. This card, retreat. So yeah, that just doubles down on the fact that I don't see you really making huge decisions. Again, you're making adjustments this week. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see this Ace of Wands in your reading next week. All right, let's look at self-care for Sagittarius. This is the Self-Care Wisdom cards by Cheryl Richardson. I added them, Richardson, sorry. I added these cards last week because I love them. Excuse me, get a drink of my coffee here. I just think these cards are so pretty and fun. I love the messaging in them. They're just very positive, and We all need a little self-care, don't we? All right. Sagittarius, self-care, July 6th through 12th. Let's see what the wisdom cards have to say for you. We are going to stop at this card. Mind. You are the master of your inner world, and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. All right, good advice. Nothing is set in stone. Retreat, pull back, and I'm going to show you something that just came up that's crazy. So that I just noticed. We had 3 3s, right? 3 3 3, or yeah. Look at the retreat card. Is also a number 33. I just noticed. That's a lot of threes. I would look up 333, 33, but also look up 5 3s. See what that means for you when it comes to the angel numbers. That's a lot of threes to be appearing on the table. And watch for that this week in your life as, one of those synchronistic things. See if you're seeing threes. You might look at the clock and it's 3:33. You might see that number a lot more. So there's something there for you. There's some kind of message there for you. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that in other places. So, Sagittarius, I really appreciate your time here with me today. Good luck trying to make the adjustments in your life to make space for this new thing that's coming in, this new thing that appears like it's going to be a passion of yours, something that you're going to love. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. Of course, if you are comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, what is something you are exploring getting involved with that might take some adjusting of your current life. I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you. Also, if you like my reading style, again, I ask that you please like and subscribe. It helps my channel so much, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Sagittarius. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.